If you want every person in your life to respect you, to listen when you speak, to move in your direction without you ever begging, explaining, or raising your voice, then stop everything for the next few minutes, because this isn't about tricks. It's about rewiring the way people see you. It's about becoming a man whose silence speaks louder than other men shouting. Power isn't volume. It isn't bravado. It isn't dominance painted in gold chains and cheap arrogance. The men who truly move the world, the ones whose presence alters the temperature of a room, don't need to prove anything. Their confidence is quiet. Their energy is controlled. Their value is felt, not declared. There's a reason the loudest man in the room always looks the weakest, because real power never tries. It never chases. It simply is. And that's where the secret begins. Reverse positive psychology. Not affirmations. Not be yourself slogans. Not fake alpha theatrics. This is the same psychological weaponry used by world leaders, billionaires, negotiators, and seducers who control outcomes without ever showing their hand. Watch how the powerful move. Apple doesn't send you 1,000 emails begging you to buy an iPhone. They whisper once, drop a hint, disappear and let you camp outside their stores. Politicians don't chase votes. They speak, vanish, and let the crowd chant their name. The truly magnetic man doesn't fight for attention. He walks in, says 3 words, and suddenly everyone wants to hear the 4th. That's not luck. It's psychological leverage, silent, subtle, ruthless. And the first lever, the foundation of all power, is indifference. See, human beings don't chase what's easy. They crave what might slip away. They respect what feels rare. They desire what doesn't need them. Every time you over-explain, over-text, or over-give, you dilute your value. You train people to believe you are common. You become background noise. But when you become scarce, when you make your time, attention, and emotion feel like a privilege, you create gravity. You pull people in without lifting a finger. Let me show you how deep this goes. In 2019, researchers at the University of Arizona tested 2 groups of men in real-world dating environments. Group A was told to be eager, warm, quick to compliment, always available. Group B was trained to be calm, detached, slow to respond, non-needy, same looks, same status, same income. The results? Group A, nice guys, got polite smiles and fake numbers, 0 second dates. Group A, indifferent ones, got real numbers, follow-up texts, and a 79% second date success rate. Same men, same night, only one variable changed: energy. The needy ones chased, the indifferent ones were chased. That's not theory, that's biology. When you show neediness, you trigger a deep defensive reaction in the human brain called psychological reactance. It's what happens when someone feels their freedom is being threatened. They pull away twice as hard. You've lived this before. The more you chase someone, the faster they vanish. The more you try to convince your boss to give you a raise, the more he delays. The more you plead for attention, the more invisible you become. His neediness screams, I need you more than you need me. And the brain instantly tags that as low value. Now picture the opposite. Picture walking through the world as if you already have everything you need. As if every person you meet is lucky to cross your path. You don't chase, you attract. You don't convince, you allow. And paradoxically, people start giving you what you stopped asking for. That's the paradox of indifference. The moment you no longer need validation, everyone starts offering it. It's not arrogance, it's energetic control. You're not playing hard to get to, simply are hard to get. And it's not about faking detachment. It's about genuinely understanding that your time, attention, and emotional investment are currencies. And the more you spend them on unworthy targets, the cheaper they become. So the next time someone ghosts you, underestimates you, or tests your patience, don't react, don't chase. Don't prove your worth, smile. Go silent. Create space. Let their mind fill that silence with curiosity, anxiety, and need. Because that's what indifference does. It makes your absence louder than your presence. You see, most men think power comes from controlling women, outcomes, or situations. But the truth is darker and simpler. Power is control over yourself. The man who doesn't flinch when ignored, who doesn't need to explain when misunderstood, who doesn't crumble when others pull away, that man is untouchable. He becomes the center of gravity in every room. He doesn't beg for loyalty people to offer it, doesn't demand respect it's given by instinct, doesn't chase love orbits around him. That's where the journey begins. The first step toward becoming that man isn't about what you do it, S about what you stop doing, stop chasing, stop proving, stop filling the silence. And then watch what happens when the world starts chasing you back. Let me give you something real, not theory, not fantasy, a moment that happened under real city lights. Dubai, 35th floor rooftop bar. The Burj Al Arab glowing like a crown in the distance. The air thick with perfume, money, and ego. Marcus-30-5, tech billionaire, linen shirt open too far. Submariner flashing on his wrist spots, Sophia 25. Red silk dress, the kind that makes time slow down. She's sitting alone, scrolling her phone like the entire room exists beneath her. Marcus walks over, carrying to $5,000 flutes of champagne, and says, "Fly with me to Mykonos tomorrow. My jet leaves at noon. I'll have the chef prepare anything you want." She doesn't even look up. "I'll think about it," she says. He laughs, a little too loud. "I can wait. I'll clear my week." She glances up once, polite, almost pitying. Then she stands, kisses her friend on the cheek, and says, "Girls' night in JBR. Text me later, maybe." She walks away, heels clicking against the marble like gunshots. Marcus stands there, frozen, holding 2 untouched glasses of champagne, like a waiter who lost his order. The bar goes quiet. People saw it. They felt his fall. That's what indifference does. It doesn't play games. It creates gravity. Sophia didn't say no. She didn't insult him. She didn't try to dominate him. She simply withdrew attention. Her silence, her distance, her calm lack of need turned a billionaire into a beggar in under 60 seconds. That's the cold reality. Indifference is louder than any rejection. Now let me show you what's happening beneath the surface inside the human brain. In 2021, Columbia University researchers ran fMRI scans on 150 participants during live social exchanges. When someone perceived as high-value delayed a reply between 4 and 12 hours. The other person's dopamine spiked by 220%. That's the same chemical hit as cocaine. Predictable attention. It's flat dopamine. Delayed attention? Explosive dopamine. The mind becomes addicted to uncertainty, to the tension of waiting, to the craving for closure. The less available you are, the more the brain begins to obsess. You become a psychological drug. That's how indifference turns into influence. And here's where it gets dangerous because it works. Everywhere. Dating, business, friendship, negotiation, family. Every human interaction is built on emotional leverage. Whoever cares less controls more. Whoever holds silence longer holds power. Let me make it brutally simple. The one who needs nothing controls everything. Imagine a man at work. It's Friday evening, 6 p.m. His boss sends an email. "Need that report by Monday." Most men panic. They reply instantly, "On it, boss." "I'll handle it tonight." They work through the weekend, hoping for approval. But a powerful man doesn't. He waits until Sunday night, 10 p.m., he writes. "I'll review tonight. You'll have it by 8 a.m., no apology." There's no rush, no desperation. The boss reads that email and feels its respect. He just met a man with boundaries, a man who doesn't scramble to please. The promotion comes months later and the boss tells HR he's dependable, solid, knows his value. That's how quiet dominance works. Now take the same principle into attraction. A woman texts you Friday night, 8:12 p.m. "What are you doing tonight?" You wait 5 hours? Reply at 1:17 a.m. "Out with the boys. You free tomorrow?" She answers in 30 seconds. "Yes." "What time?" We wait another 3 hours. "Maybe 8, I'll confirm." Then you go to sleep. By the time morning comes, she's already thinking about what to wear. She's already emotionally invested, controlled the frame without saying more than 10 words. And when you arrive late, 45 minutes late, she's already waiting. Nervous. Excited. That's not arrogance. That's psychological precision. See, it's not about manipulation. It's about creating polarity. The masculine and the feminine are two opposing energies. The feminine chases emotional certainty. The masculine holds emotional tension. And the longer you can hold that tension without breaking, the stronger your gravitational field becomes. But it's not limited to love. Scarcity and indifference build power in every arena. When you're always available, your presence becomes cheap. When you're hard to reach, your presence becomes valuable. That's why luxury brands never beg. Hermes doesn't flood Instagram with ads. They make you wait 5 years for a Birkin bag. They make you earn the privilege to buy. Scarcity manufactures desire. Scarcity creates worship. You must do the same with your time, your words, your access. Stop saying yes to every invitation. Stop responding in minutes. Stop explaining every decision. Your calendar should look like gold few openings, every slot sacred. When someone asks for your time, say this: I'm only free Thursday from 7 to 9. After that, I'm locked for 2 weeks. Watch what happens next. They'll rearrange their entire week to fit your 2 hours because you just became rare. I had a client who tried this on a 7-figure investor. He said, I've got one 30-minute slot next Tuesday. After that, I'm in Singapore for 3 weeks. The investor canceled his Tokyo flight and showed up in person. The deal closed at a 20% higher valuation. Scarcity wins. Indifference seals it. This isn't about pretending. It's about believing that your time is worth something. Because the world doesn't value you for what you give it, values you for what it costs to have you. When you understand that, you stop chasing approval. You stop begging for attention. You stop performing for people who aren't even watching. And the moment you stop chasing, something miraculous happens. They start chasing you. That's not manipulation. That's alignment. That's natural order. The lion doesn't roar to prove he's king. Just is. And the jungle knows it. There comes a moment when you realize that most men never learn this truth. They spend their lives begging for crumbs, attention, approval, love when they were born to command presence. They think respect comes from being loud, from being available, from proving themselves to people who stopped listening years ago. They don't understand that silence is a weapon. Absence is a form of presence. That a man who doesn't chase is the one everyone follows. The power of indifference isn't coldness, it's control. It's knowing when to act, when to withdraw, when to let the silence do the talking. Because silence has weight. It creates space where others expose themselves. It forces the world to come to you. Look at the men who dominate history. They understood this instinctively. Julius Caesar didn't beg for loyalty. He cultivated myth. Marlon Brando didn't beg for fame. He vanished between films and became legend. Michael Jordan didn't ask for respect. He let performance make the argument. In the age of noise, power belongs to those who don't explain. The more you explain yourself, the more you shrink. The more you justify, the smaller you look. The man who can sit in misunderstanding without panic, that's the man people fear to disappoint. Here's the psychological truth behind it. People are drawn to certainty, not to perfection, not to beauty certainty. The man who moves as though the world will adjust to him makes the world adjust. It's biological. It's primal. It's what kept leaders alive when others followed. And here's the paradox. When you master indifference, people begin to feel addicted to your attention. Because your approval becomes rare, your words, few, your validation, sacred. A 2021 Columbia study showed that the more unpredictable a person's attention is, the more dopamine is released in those who seek it. When they finally get your reply, when you finally look up, their brain floods with reward. That's why absence creates obsession. You felt it. That person who replies instantly, you stop caring. But the one who disappears, the one who vanishes mid-conversation, you think about them for days. That's the power you're learning to harness, not to play games, but to show restraint. To act like a man who already has everything. Because the second you stop needing, you become needed. You'll see it everywhere once you understand it. At work, the man who speaks last owns the room. In dating, the man who texts least gets the most attention. In negotiation, the man who can sit through silence longest wins. Control your reactions, and you control reality. Because every time you react, you surrender power. Every time you rush to answer, you reveal you were waiting. Every time you explain, you confess uncertainty. Power is stillness. Power is delayed response. Power is emotional patience. And here is what most men will never grasp. The highest form of strength. ISNT aggression, it S restraint. To have the urge to act and choose not to. To have the words ready and stay silent. To feel anger rising and breathe until it passes. It's not weakness. That's discipline. That's control. It's power. Let me paint you another scene. It's a Monday morning meeting. Your boss calls you out in front of everyone. Says your project lacked direction. Most men would defend themselves instantly, voices raised, heart pounding. You don't move. You just listen. Calm, composed, silent. The room feels it. People look at you differently, because silence under pressure is rare. It says, I'm not reacting because I'm not beneath this. Later, your boss calls you privately. Didn't mean to single you out, he says. You nod once. No problem. Now he respects you. It's because you didn't need to win the small battle. You won the long war. That's what indifference does. It flips the dynamic. It makes people earn your emotion, not assume it. The more controlled you are, the more chaotic others become. The calmer your tone, the more people rush to explain themselves. The less you give, the more they overcompensate. It's not manipulation, it's psychological balance. You've been taught your whole life to earn love, to prove worth, to chase validation. But real power is the opposite. It's knowing that your worth doesn't fluctuate based on anyone's attention. You don't need to chase what's already yours. And when you move through the world like that, calm, grounded, silent, something extraordinary happens. People lean in when you speak. They hesitate before disrespecting you. They remember your name even when you've forgotten theirs. Because energy is currency. You've just become the rarest one in the market. So hold your silence. Guard your time. Let the world wonder where you are, what you're thinking, and who you've chosen to give your attention to. That mystery isn't arrogance, it's magnetism. Because the moment you stop trying to impress anyone, everyone becomes impressed. And that's when you cross the line from man to force. You don't demand respect anymore. You evoke it. You don't chase love anymore. You attract devotion. You don't force loyalty anymore. It becomes instinctive. That's the dark beauty of control. It's quiet. It's invisible. But once you have it, the world bends toward you. There's a kind of silence that terrifies people. It's not the silence of ignorance, but the silence of presence. The silence of a man who knows who he is, who no longer needs to shout to be heard. You've seen it before. A man who says little, moves slowly, and yet every room seems to tilt toward him. That's not luck. That's the byproduct of self-mastery. Because once you understand indifference not as a tactic but as a state of being, you stop performing for the world. You stop bending your spirit just to be accepted. You stop treating your peace like something disposable. And in that moment, everything changes. People test you less. They respect your time more. Opportunities chase you instead of you chasing them. Why? Because energy doesn't lie. The man who truly doesn't need approval gives off a scent the world can resist. It's the scent of freedom. Every human deep down is drawn to freedom. And when you walk as if nothing outside of you can control, you know, woman, no boss, no trend, no opinion, you become magnetic. That's what power really is. Not dominance, not control, but inner stillness. Let's strip this to its core. You can master every psychological trick in the book Scarcity, social proof, reciprocity, but if you haven't mastered yourself, you'll always be ruled by the reactions of others. You'll still flinch when they withdraw, still overcompensate when they pull away. Indifference isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about knowing that you'll be fine even if they leave. That's the ultimate freedom, emotional independence. Because once you stop fearing loss, you become impossible to manipulate. Think about it. The entire world runs on fear of loss. Marketing, relationships, politics. The fear of missing out is what drives control. But when you stop fearing it, nothing and no one can control you again. The man who isn't afraid to walk away will always have leverage. Always. You can see it in negotiation tables, in relationships, in boardrooms. The one who can say no calmly, who can smile and stand up while others scramble to hold him back, that's the one who wins. And here's the secret that most never realize. People subconsciously crave to follow a man who can walk away, because he represents the freedom they wish they had. That's why indifference isn't cruelty, it's leadership. The weak man attaches himself to everyone and everything. The strong man attaches to purpose. He gives his loyalty selectively, gives his emotion intentionally. And when he does give it, it means something. You can feel it when such a man looks at you. His presence is calm, not desperate. His interest feels like a gift, not a request. That's the kind of man the world can't get enough of. And if you stay consistent long enough, if you hold the line through discomfort, through the urge to explain, through the pressure to react, to begin to shift at the core, your voice changes, your posture straightens, your words slow down. You stop seeking validation and start radiating authority. You stop trying to be liked and start being respected. That's when you begin to see the architecture of power clearly. It's not about being above others, it's about being beyond their reach. When people sense that they can't shake your balance, they start orbiting you. They seek your attention, your advice, your approval. And even when you give none of it, they remain loyal. Because deep down, they want to understand what it feels like to be that free. Every man wants to be the sun in someone's sky, but only the still ones become it. Because the sun doesn't chase planets. It burns quietly, relentlessly, until everything else revolves around it. That's your task now, to burn quietly, to master stillness, to make your absence speak louder than your words. Because here's the truth no one tells you. When you become truly indifferent, not numb, but grounded, the universe starts working for you. People return, opportunities multiply, chaos bends around your calm. That's not magic, that's alignment. Because when your energy no longer leaks into chasing, you redirect it into creating. And that's where greatness begins. So stop reacting, stop begging, stop over-explaining. Be the man who can walk away smiling. Be the man who listens more than he speaks. Be the man whose silence makes others tremble a little. Because one day you'll realize the respect you were trying to earn was never about them. It was always about you finally respecting yourself enough to stop giving your power away. When that day comes, everything changes. Your words will land heavier. Your presence will linger longer. Your peace will become your most dangerous weapon. And you'll look around at the world, the noise, the chasing, the need, and you'll smile. Because you'll know that while everyone else is trying to be noticed, you became unforgettable by saying nothing at all. That's not just psychology. That's philosophy. That's power in its purest form. And it's yours now.